This little van is our home, and we're happiest on the road exploring the world. Suddenly, though, our world has been flipped upside down. As the coronavirus situation escalates, we've had to make a very difficult decision.
And we hope you guys know we would only do this if we really had to.
It's not because it's just our home that we're leaving behind. It's because we made it, and it's like very special to us. And it's just kind of sad.
But as we head to the airport, in the back of our minds, we're both wondering, is it too late?
You ready to go, Frank? Today's the day. Or tonight is the night. Tonight is the day.
Maybe, in a couple hours, we'll be on a plane back to the United States.
It's about 12:30 a.m. right now. Our flight leaves a little after 5 a.m. Wani is taking us from his house here in Buenos Aires to the airport. We're going to load up all of our stuff, and hopefully today is the day we're making it back to the United States.
Wani, I would love to hug you right now, but I'm not going to. Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much, man.
You've been such a huge help. Stay in touch. Yep, wash your hands.
Always.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wani.
Now I'm going to take Frank to the bathroom, and we're going to try to figure out how to carry all of this inside.
This looks like a pretty busy airport.
Remember that movie with Tom Hanks, Terminal?
Yeah.
Where he just lives in the airport for like a year?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like is going on here.
It's seriously crazy because a lot of these people are like backpackers and bike packers from all over the world, probably Europe and places where they can't really go home right now. It's just sad that they have to be sleeping at the airport.
Yeah. It's wild.
Well, we waited here on the sidelines and something started to materialize, and it was a handful of people showing up, and now the line is extremely long.
We're not even allowed to check in for another like 40 minutes, but
And the flight's not for another like 3 hours.
Yeah, people are here early, ready, and very excited to be leaving Argentina and going back to their home country, so
As are we.
we're gonna get in this line.
Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve.
I've never been in an airport security like this.
All the bad and the hurt.
Well, we laid on the floor in the gate for about 45 minutes and got a tiny bit of sleep.
You look really rested.
I look so rested.
You look great.
That's the only sleep we got because we were obviously up all night. And we probably didn't say that at the beginning of this episode. The end of last episode, we got to Wani's. We stayed up until midnight, and then Wani drove us to the airport. So
You're discrediting the fantastic sleep you're about to get on these two flights.
I'm gonna sleep really good on these flights.
I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Copa Airlines welcomes you on board its 364 flight to Panama City and our home.
That's Tikal. Right here on that pyramid is where I proposed to Allie. And them playing that right now is just like reminding me of the journey we've been on.
It's been an incredible journey.
So crazy. Watching out the window as Buenos Aires disappears below us, we're filled with the heartbreak of leaving our van behind. The reality is setting in that we probably won't see our van, our home, for a very long time. But this isn't the end of the story. It's just the end of a chapter. And as we reflect on the joy and happiness of the past year, we're also looking forward to the unexpected adventures that lie ahead.
Bienvenidos a la ciudad de Panamá.
Now we gotta look for our flight to Miami. Well, we made it to our next gate, and they're taking so many extra security and safety measures to make sure people stay safe and secure, that there's actually another screening process to go through before we even get to the little seating area at our next gate to fly into Miami.
It's like pretty surreal, and I feel like once we hit Miami that like it's over, we made it. But really there's like nothing for us in Miami. That's where Allie's uncle lives, and that's gonna be our first stop. We've got a lot of things to do ahead of us.
The journey does not end there.
Yeah, the journey does not end there. However, maybe once we get to your uncle's house, I'll be able to actually get some sleep, because I really didn't get much sleep on that plane ride. We didn't sleep last night.
A shower, all these things that we just don't do anymore. The things
Sleep
we
in a shower.
sacrifice.
I'm really looking forward to sleep in a shower.
Get some rest. I'm by your side. Lay your head on my chest. I know you've had a really bad day, but I'm right here. It's gonna be okay.
Just like that, we are officially back in the USA.
It's gonna be okay. The sun could go out. We're gonna
Touching down in Miami was really nice. This is actually my first time to Florida, so I'm super excited about that.
So from what we've been told, we have to go through some extensive screening processes in order to exit the airport. They want to make sure everyone leaving is safe and healthy.
Hopefully we don't get detained too long at the airport with all of the screening and the testing and customs and all the things you have to go through. We're hoping for a quick and speedy process. Right here. Go. Well, that was pretty incredible. We walked right through customs. It only took maybe 5 or 10 minutes in line. Walked up to the carousel. All of our bags were here. Everything made it. But we're not going to be staying in Florida, so we had to rent a car because this adventure does continue.
So we're gonna actually go from the Miami airport to my uncle's house, and we've decided to rent a car. We're trying not to come into contact with as many people as possible to limit our social interactions. So we're gonna rent a car, and hopefully we got a car that can fit all of our luggage. Getting ready to hit the road. It's weirdly quiet here. This all happened really quickly. We were expecting some crazy screening measures and huge lines at customs, and honestly we breezed through everything because there are so few people traveling these days. As we landed and turned our phones back on, we actually got a notification from the State Department saying that all Americans are urged to return back to America as soon as possible or should be prepared to shelter in place, which
Absolutely insane.
it just sounds crazy. Yeah.
It just solidifies our thoughts and what the embassy told us and what we were worried about. And like if you wanted to get out today and we had to store the van and get flights and stuff, we might not make it.
Yeah.
So by the hair of our chinny chin chin. How do you like our new car?
Okay, I can get into this. It's a little smaller than I'm used
How
to.
do I start it? Okay.
Oh, it's a push start.
Wow, this is
Much
really
fancier.
fancy compared to the van. I don't know if I even know how to drive this. It's like being in a fighter jet.
Yeah, this is a spaceship. Cool.
We successfully made it to Allie's uncle's house. We basically came in, they prepared dinner for us, we had an amazing evening. Now we're actually gonna load up our bags into the rental car and we are heading north from here. We're trying to get to Allie's parents' house. It's still about 15 hours away. So not only did we travel for 2 days straight, we did get a good night's rest tonight, but now we've got to get in the car and do another full day of traveling.
So we made it out of my uncle's house. He didn't want to be on camera, but thank you so much, Uncle Sal, if you're watching this video, for letting us crash for the night, for letting us take a shower and just have a real night's sleep. We've actually hit the road very quickly, really quickly for our standards, that's for sure. And we are on I-95 North, heading north. It's so weird to say. I feel like I've been saying we're heading south for like the last 10 months.
It's not a frantic journey, but we are afraid they're going to start closing state borders and other types of quarantines are going to be put into place. So we're just trying to like make it somewhere safe, and Allie's parents' house is a nice place that we can kind of lay low and be safe for a little bit. It's just very relieving. The only thing that we are worried about is that obviously the van is still in Argentina and we don't know when we're going to be able to go back and get it.
So right now we're focused on the day-to-day, trying to get to my parents' house by the end of today. We've got a little bit of driving to get from Miami to Washington, D.C. Luckily, we're very used to driving.
So crazy. There's like really not that many people on the highway for the most part until we got right before the border to South Carolina, and now the rest stop had hundreds of people at it looked like, and the freeway is like almost in gridlock. All the RVs that we've seen that have been coming, I think, from Florida is probably from like state parks or national parks or maybe like the Everglades. I assume that they started closing a lot of these locations and all these people are either going back to where they came from or just vacating the premises that they were at. Either way, there's a lot of people going the same direction as us.
The problem though is that we're sitting in all this traffic, and normally I'd run to the back and make a sandwich or grab some food or go to the bathroom, and every time I want to do something like that, it's like, there's nowhere to go, there's no bathroom in here. Sorry.
Very different traveling by car, that's for sure. The good news is we have about 8 hours left out of our 15-hour drive, so we are almost halfway. We would probably be a lot closer to halfway if there wasn't all of this traffic, but things are really moving along.
See you in a couple hours.
Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails.
Well, it probably looks a lot later now than it was the last time we talked to you guys.
Oh, Frank, you're messing up the vibe here. You
Frank.
gotta sit down. You gotta
Frank.
sit.
Frank doesn't have as much room
I'm
in this
sorry.
car as he does in the van. He's not that happy about it.
So we've been driving for a few hours and we are starving. We don't want to get contaminated, contaminate anybody, all that stuff. And we don't normally do this, but we're at the Wendy's drive-thru.
Wendy's. It's better than McDonald's in my opinion. We need to get some food. We still have, I think, like 2.5 hours left. We're gonna roll in probably around 11:30 p.m. to Allie's parents' house. Really excited to get somewhere familiar and just be able to bring all of our stuff inside and know that we made it to a destination and just be able to kind of like relax and decompress.
Yeah.
Really excited. It has been a very long few days of traveling. Even Frank is yawning. Frank, Frank is doing such a good job. You're the best traveling dog in the whole world.
Frank has been a champion today. He totally feeds off our energy, and when we're in travel mode, he gets it, and he just curls up and gives us some love when we need it, and he's great.
If only you could have kids and make kids do that. Just like feed off your energy instead of like
travel mode.
Fun fact, when I was in high school, I worked at Wendy's and I was the little guy that took your money. and I worked until 2 a.m. and they let me do that while I was in high school. I was like 16, 17.
And then you went to school the next morning?
And then I went to school the next morning at 7 a.m.
Wow.
Pretty strange, but they were desperate times.
Also, I'm guessing the rules were a little different about 50 years ago.
That's not funny. Thank you. Have a good night. Those poor guys just working their heart out. Really got to be like super terrible being in fast food at the moment, because normally with fast food you have like some drive-through and some people coming in to eat, but right now nobody can get food anywhere unless it's like through a drive-through. So I think all the restaurants or all the fast food restaurants, their drive-throughs probably just have a long line all day. And when you work fast food like I did at Wendy's, it is like beaten into you that everything needs to be as fast as possible, and they like time you. They time cars from when they order to when they leave, and those times have to be like at a certain level, so everyone's just always rushing. So to have like a long line in the drive-thru all day long is probably the worst nightmare those kids can go through.
So thank you to everybody that's out there still working, still trying to keep the country going, helping keep us all safe. We're gonna dig into this food. Hopefully in a little bit we'll be at my parents' house. We're home. Oh, it feels good.
'Twas a lot of traveling in the past few days.
Sorry, you did fantastic. So we finally made it into my parents' basement where we're gonna be spending our quarantine. There's gotta be nothing weirder than showing up at your childhood home, so excited to see your family, and not being able to hug them. It's so weird for all of us to be like, like
Yeah.
6 feet apart, don't get too close, don't let us breathe on you. Like, we just don't know what we've been exposed to over the past few days traveling.
And it's just not really worth it to risk it. So everyone else is staying upstairs and we are staying downstairs, at least for the foreseeable future, to give us a separate quarantine and make sure we don't develop a fever, have any symptoms or anything like that.
But my mom is so cute. She like cleaned this whole little room and made the bed and left us little notes. Look, she left a note for dog food, a note that says, "Welcome home, darlings," some antiviral immune booster pills, and some hot tea, and freshly baked banana bread. I mean, she's just an angel. She's so cute. Even though she can't hug me, you can tell, like, she's happy to have us here. We're happy to be here.
So happy that we finally made it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed coming along on this adventure.
It's a weird adventure.
Even though we're all in this together, hopefully this helped you escape your adventure for a little bit and come along with us.
We're finally here. We're happy to be home, and we're excited to see what the next few days looks like.
So consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Adios.